March 11, 2019, written by David Woodsmith. Story link. Euro to dollar exchange rate. Euro to US dollar avoids tumbling back to last week's yearly lows despite a lack of fresh strong support for the euro since last week's surprisingly dovish European Central Bank (ECB) decision. The euro to US dollar exchange rate has avoided further losses today. Investors were hesitant to sell the euro to its worst levels amid speculation that the eurozone could be about to see something of a turnaround. Weak eurozone data and ECB dovishness dragged euro to US dollar over a cent lower from last week's opening levels of 1.1368. In fact, euro to US dollar briefly touched on a yearly low of 1.1183 on Thursday, the worst level for the pair since 2017. After that, euro to US dollar rebounded slightly and closed the week near the level of 1.1235. The pair remained resilient on Monday and trended closely to the level of 1.1240 at the time of writing today. Today's German trade data, as well as rising speculation that the worst of the euro's performance may be behind it, helped the euro to hold its ground. However, the US dollar remains appealing despite some underwhelming US data in recent sessions, thanks to the overall solid US economic outlook. Speculation has risen over the past week that the eurozone's economic outlook is showing more optimistic signs following an economic slowdown that lasted longer than analysts expected it would. Could the euro itself be about to rebound from its worst levels as well? Demand for the shared currency was buoyed today, amid a lack of fresh market reasons to sell the currency further, as well as speculation that the bearish bets against the currency may have hit a bottom. Bets against the euro recently hit their worst levels since December 2016, and analysts are speculating that if the euro isn't in for more losses, the currency could be in for a slight recovery. According to Valentin Marinov, head of currency strategy at Credit Agricole SA, excessive market shorts do highlight that we may be getting closer to a turning point. To have a real turnaround in the euro, however, we would need more tangible evidence of an economic turnaround in the eurozone. Calling the bottom of the latest euro sell-off has proved to be very challenging. Essentially, without much reason to sell the euro further, euro investors are highly anticipating further evidence that the eurozone's economic activity is starting to see an improvement from the recent slowdown. Despite the importance of retail activity over the winter holiday period, the U.S. retail sector reportedly slumped even further than expected in December. According to January's U.S. retail sales results, published this afternoon, the U.S. retail sector just hasn't been as buoyant as hoped in recent months. While monthly retail sales improved to a better-than-expected 0.2% in January, investors were concerned that December's print had been revised lower from -1.2% to -1.6%. December's year-on-year figure was revised lower as well, from 2.3% to just 1.6%. As a result of the concerning December retail sales data, the US dollar slipped today despite US business inventories meeting expectations. According to analysts from Capital Economics, weak car sales were partially to blame for holding back U.S. retail activity. The modest 0.2% gain in headline retail sales was partly due to a 2.4% drop in motor vehicle sales. Unfortunately, the manufacturers' data show that sales fell further in February. As recent U.S. data is showing signs of slowdown, the euro to US dollar exchange rate could be in for further gains if upcoming US data disappoints investors as well. No notable eurozone data will be published tomorrow, leaving euro to US dollar exchange rate investors to react to US data. as well as any other news that could influence market sentiment. The biggest U.S. data of the day will be February's U.S. Consumer Price Index, CPI, inflation rate report, which is expected to have improved just slightly since January. If U.S. inflation beats forecasts though, it could drag euro to US dollar lower as the US dollar strengthens. If tomorrow's Brexit news shocks investors, this could also drive euro to US dollar lower as it would cause stronger market demand for safe haven currencies. The euro could react to Brexit news tomorrow, but Wednesday's industrial production stats are more likely to directly influence the euro to US dollar exchange rate. International money transfer? Ask our resident FX expert a money transfer question or try John's new, free, no-obligation personal service, where he helps every step of the way, ensuring you get the best exchange rates on your currency requirements. Tags, Euro forecasts comments are currently disabled. Pound to dollar exchange rate, pound sterling to US dollar rises despite dovish BOE speech and rebound in US retail sales. March 11, 2019 Euro to dollar exchange rate, Euro to US dollar avoids tumbling back to last week's yearly lows. March 11, 2019 Pound New Zealand dollar, pound sterling to New Zealand dollar, exchange rate steadies as May gives the go-ahead for tomorrow's vote. March 11, 2019 Pound sterling Canadian dollar, pound sterling to Canadian dollar, exchange rate slides following strong Canadian job market figures. March 8, 2019 Pound to Australian dollar exchange rate today. Pound sterling to Australian dollar falls as UK-EU tensions rise on Irish backstop. March 8, 2019 dollar to pound sterling exchange rates steady in anticipation of major U.S. non-farm payroll report. March 8, 2019 pound to yen exchange rate, pound sterling to Japanese yen slides on dovish BOE comments. March 7, 2019 pound to euro exchange rate, to edges higher as dovish Draghi outlines threats to eurozone. March 7, 2019 Euro-Swiss franc exchange rate steadies with European Central Bank, ECB, policy decision imminent. March 7, 2019 Euro to US dollar exchange rate today, Euro to US dollar rises as US trade deficit jumps to a 10-year high. March 6, 2019.